Hello, everybody. This is Brother Auty Howard with Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries coming at you today with some prophetic words from the Lord. And one thing I was going to do, sometimes, guys, when I'm recording something, the one thing I don't control or can't control and don't want to control is when God gives me a word. So sometimes I might be out driving. I might be just somewhere where I'm not near my computer, and I might be in prayer somewhere. And then hear the Lord and it be so crystal clear, and he'll say, record it now. And, the whole thing is that you're not going to do something like that from your computer or any other device if you're not around it. And so it just so happens to be my telephone happened to be the closest. And I did this once before. And I think it was back when God had prophesied about all of these generals dying. And it wasn't very long after that, all of the generals that you start hearing about in Putin's army was being slaughtered left and right. And now to date, I don't know how many it's up to, but there's quite a few. And so I want to play a recording and let you hear what I got. And I'm going to tell you this one thing before I get into this recording. Tonight I was listening and to the Lord. I was listening to the Lord, and I want to say something to you. Keep your eyes on Iran. I kept hearing this loud and clear from the Lord tonight while in prayer. Keep your eyes on Iran. That is going to be a very ugly situation if that were to break out. But keep your eyes on Iran. And I want to say something to you. Be praying. Be praying because I seen Iran planning something. All right. And it was ugly. It was very ugly. And the Lord was showing me some angels. And these weren't little bitty angels, guys. They were huge. And they went out in flight tonight. And I seen them go to the destination of Iran to set up shop. Yeah, because there's something being planned. And I seen it coming against Israel, and I also seen it coming against a few other places. And the U.S. happened to also be one of those. And listen, it's no mystery that we've always had issues with those people in Iran. And I do not speak just any Iranian person, because that's not the facts or the truth. That's just like people today coming against all Russian people, but yet it was their leader, President Putin, that, initiated the war. It wasn't the people that did it. So, that's something I just don't quite honestly get, is how people have honestly come against the Russian people. I've got a lot of people that I have been friends with from Russia, and that is some of the most dearest people there is on this earth. And some of the most diehard Christians on this earth as well are there. And so, we have to be very, very careful when we go to judging and speaking and, downsizing, pulling back, whatever you want to call it, from a set group of people that honestly is not guilty. Maybe their leader's guilty, but that whole all of Russia is not guilty. And so it's the same I'm saying, speaking here with Iran. Not all Iranians are guilty. But however, the people I was speaking of is the actual leaders that have come into covenant. And I want to say this one thing. The leaders that I seen were sitting at a table, and please forgive me, but I'm going to say it and I'm going to let you hear it. The leaders I seen were sitting down with some U.S. Diplomats, and they were making some very ugly plans. Now, why would they be sitting down with some U.S. diplomats when this was being made? You have to ask yourself that. That was a profound vision that I had. I can't explain everything that I see, but I can tell you this. It surely happened. And we've got to be careful when we see visions, and we've got to be careful when we share these visions. And if God didn't say share something, then it could cost you. It could cost you. So I'm very careful and I'm very prayerful, and I've allowed the Lord to give me that permission to share it. He told me to share it because why? Because there needs to be prayers going up, because there is a plan going out with this group in Iran. Now, God didn't give me a set time on this thing. He did not. Sometimes he'll show me things. He'll give me a set timeline or something. But if he's insisting that we start hitting this in prayers now, then that means that there's plans that's already set a sail to come against, these certain nations. And us, we are one of them, and Israel was another. I don't think that we should take this lightly, guys. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this recording. So I'll just sit and just let you listen to it. I'm going to play this recording, and I might stop it and comment on it, which I did that one time before on my one back when I did the one on Putin and them, which was really profound in the end. And so I might just stop and just comment on it, and we'll just see what happens. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's just play these. This will be a good, there we are. Silicone Valley, you will fall, and you will fall in one day with a great collapse. And it would be like the clapping of hands together. It will be a great sound, and it will fall. There will be a stench, a great stench in that valley. And it will be a strange stench, and people won't understand what it is. The authorities will be sent out to investigate it, to try to figure out what it is. And it'll be a sign of what is being spoken here, that they have collapsed. It will be their own sewage that will back up into their own pipes. And it will cause a great stench up into the air. And then you shall see their collapse after this. There shall come a great fall, and billionaires, and I want you to hear this. I've seen some billionaires that's going to commit suicide because they will have lost every bit of their wealth. They will have had their wealth invested in one place, and some of them in 2 or 3 places. But when this collapse happens, all of their wealth will have went because their sources will have dried up completely. They will look out of their windows of the offices that they have left, and they will see their cars towed away. And some of them will see their yachts towed away out of the boat yards. And some of them will have sheriff's notes put on their doors telling them they have so many days to get out of their houses. And when they tried to turn to their friends, the ones that they so well partied with and that they had all of these fancy parties with on the weekends, and the ones that had all of these sexual get-togethers and trafficking of children and etc. that they had their hands dirtied up in, they'll turn to these for a loan and for help, but there won't be any help because those that they turn to will have lost theirs as well. The great fall is about to take its place. There's going to be a flushing out. There's going to be a flushing out of many. This is a time where it's going to make the Great Depression look like Disneyland. But I want you to hear something. This is the greatest moment on earth to live. And it sounds ironic, but this is when the Father is going to send out angels and multitudes. And he's going to send out his servants, and he's going to provide for his servants so that their ministries may be able to reach the 4 corners of the earth, wherever he sends them. I am seeing hidden politicians. Now, this is going to sound ironic, and it's going to sound like nothing you would believe. I've seen hidden politicians that you don't even hear about, or you've heard very little about, that's going to support some of these ministries that's been unknown, that's going to be powerful, that's going to come forward, that's going to minister in the power of the Spirit. And they're going to support them financially. Some of them will do it openly, and some of them will do it closed. They won't let no one know. But the point is that these ministries are going to be supported. And the Father says, don't worry. Don't worry about how I provide for you. For I can pull from this area to this area, and I can pull from this person to that person. But I will get my ministries out there. I will reap this great harvest that is coming in. Blood moons. Watch for the blood moons in these upcoming seasons. Watch for the next ones. Because there's going to be great things that will fall from the skies. There's going to be things that's going to happen when this comes about. There's going to be signs in the skies. And there's going to be signs in the ocean. There's going to be turbulence and disturbances with these great blood moons that will come, in EV super moons and blood, the blood moons mixed. You see now where there's the 5 planets lining up, and you hear them say that's mercy, or grace rather. The grace of God, that's right. The grace of God is coming in, and God is about to do a new thing. You see, the nail-pierced hands, there was 2. The nail-pierced feet, there was 2. And in Jesus' side, there was that 1 puncture mark. There was 5 marks altogether. His grace. Cross, the cross, the cross. It was the grace of God, the mercy of God. You see, God is going to bring in a great recompense in this time and era. I want you to hear it again. God is going to bring in a great recompense in this time and era. And he is going to bring forth the harvest. You see, he's tired of these ministries that's compromised for monies. He's tired of these ministries that have said, you know, give me, my name is Jimmy. But yet on their taxes and on their books, they cooked them and they can't even account for them. He's going to expose them. He's going to expose these people. And they're going to have to deal with some things. It will be openly exposed in the public's eye. Those ministries that stood above the others, some of them mega churches and some of them not. And Father says, I'm going to expose the sin. He says, and I'll start with my house first. He says, and that being the church of God. He says, I'll start there. He says, but don't you worry. He says, I'm going to hit the White House. I'm going to hit Congress. I'm going to hit the DOJ. And I'm going to hit every prime minister from the north to the south, to the east, to the west. And there's going to be locks and chains put around the feet of many as I expose the wickedness of these men and these women. They thought they've gotten away with everything. They thought that, oh yeah, you see, I've seen some ex-presidents sitting back and laughing
And they were replaying some of the news, the current news broadcast. I even seen specifically where they were playing Fox News and a few others. And they were laughing and cackling and saying, "Look at that! Look at what we've done. We did what they didn't think could be done. Depopulating the earth. Do you really think that's a conspiracy theory? Think again. That's not a conspiracy theory. There is high wicked men that sits up to the top of the pyramid that has been plotting and planning and putting chemicals in God's people's bodies. Anymore, you can't even plant crops without the earth in the ground having so much aluminum and so much chemicals in it that it's killing off the people. There's a famous company, and I've got to be careful how I say this, and it starts with mon, and then it talks about the word san, and then you go into the words tos. Now you've got to read through the lines and put that together, because I'm beating the algorithms here. The Father says, I'm going to pull that company down. He says they've been putting chemicals in my people's bodies. They've been forcing things in food and etc. And they've been killing off a multitude with cancers. Father says enough is enough. He says, I'm going to bankrupt, collapse, and incarcerate all of the heads of this company. He says, you watch. He says, this is not just talk. He says, this is the Father from heaven, from the throne room. He says, I'm going to ring their bell, and they're going to understand that I am the Lord of hosts. I'm not like the enemy. I don't speak and don't do what I say I will do. The great day of fear is coming. And those that don't have the fear of the Lord, you will find yourselves in great trouble. And you of those that celebrate the great rainbow, you're going to have to read in between the lines here, that celebrates the great rainbow and dances around in the streets. And instead of Adam and Eve, it was Adam and Steve and many other things. You think that I'm not going to deal with that at this hour? You put that great rainbow over the White House. It was a well-known president, charismatic. Yeah. He brought that agenda in through the devil. and he's corrupted this land. He's brought it in like leaven and bread, and he spreaded it out. I'm going to deal with it. Roe v. Wade, I'm going to turn it completely around. And I'm going to weigh that out into the balances and the scales. I don't care how many justices' houses that you march to. I don't care how many you threaten. You will not reverse my decision from heaven. You might think for a time that you've got it, but watch the end result and watch what I'm going to do. For I am the Lord of hosts, and there is none like me. There is none before me, and there will not be none after me. I won't put up with foolishness. You of those in the political field that's compromised, you're about to be done with. Your names will not be remembered no more. The only thing that you will be remembered for is your corruptness. And even your own families will turn their backs when the great day of fear comes upon you. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. They will hiss at you, and they won't have anything to do with you from this day forward when I bring this great day of fear upon you. Plagues. There's coming new plagues upon this earth. But my children are protected. Did you hear what I said? I said, my children are protected. Those that have stood their ground, and those that haven't allowed anyone to put something in their shoulder or in their hip with a chemical, because it come with an agenda. It come with an agenda, I said. Many innocent jobs were taken. Many innocent businesses were taken. My people were forced to do things they didn't want to do. But I tell you this day, the great day of fear and dread is coming. And it's sooner than you know. Watch, my children. For that day of vengeance is coming. There will be a day will be known. Where the left will no longer be known as a party. I'm going to say it one more time. A day is coming where it's going to be so fierce, where the left will no longer be known as a political party. And the Father is even going to lock up rhinos and many on the right, because they truly were standing on the left side. They were the goats. They flashed their satanic stars and they laughed. But I'm going to put them in derision. I'm going to laugh from the heavenlies and have the last laugh. And I'm going to deal with the top of the ladder, the top of the pyramid, and it's going to come crumbling down. Watch this year, my children. Watch this year. This is when it starts. In 2023, and even spreading off into 2024, you're going to find that I, the Lord, will continue to strip the wicked of everything that they had. And I'm going to turn it over to my people. A new day is coming, but there has to come a hard time. I've got to say it again. A new day is coming, but there is going to come a very hard time first. My people, you have to hold on. Don't let hope deferred take you out. You just have to believe me and for my words. And you have to know that I am the Lord of hosts, the Lord that will get the glory. And not one iota of one of my words will fall to the ground. Thus saith the Lord your God.
Okay, that was, for me to even have been the one that spoke that and pre-recorded that, as I told you about. And to be honest with you, to be sitting back here in the position of listening to that, just like you did, I must admit that that was a little shaking. That was a little shaking. I mean, that I could almost feel the ground up under my feet like an earthquake starting to tremor and throw rows of the ground up under me and out. When God's words go out, be prepared, because it isn't going to be what people think. It's going to be what he said. Okay. Now, I want to say this one thing. For you that have not seen the video, I don't know how long it's about. I'd say probably less than a month now. It was a prophetic video, and I had told you I had had a dream about a long shot racehorse, which, we did actually have that to come in, but I went into a lot of description in that video. And if you had watched that, you would definitely know there was nothing there that could have been copied. I mean, other than the fact that that dream did look like, the actual fact of the Kentucky Derby race, but that's all that was. But I had connected in that dream with you, because in the dream I had, which wasn't like the Kentucky Derby race. So this is how this is totally different. But in that dream, Donald Trump came into the jockeys' dressing rooms there, and I happened to be in that particular dressing room. And he walks up to me and he said, "I need your equipment. I'm going out and taking the horse for a run." And I had had a dream of this before, meaning like it was like a, well, I'm sorry, it was like a two parts, two part of the dream. And when he went out on the track, the number I had seen in that dream, and I don't remember, I want to say it was number 22. I forget now. But when he got out on the track and he got up on this horse to take off, I looked on the back of the shirt that he was wearing, which was a part of the equipment, and it said number 22. Now, mind you that the the part of the dream I had prior to that, the horse that came in was number 22. It was the long shot. It was the winner. Okay. And then I go in and have this other part of this dream to happen, having no idea, of what this was about, honestly. And then when Donald Trump asked for that equipment, I was still trying to figure and put this whole thing together. Even in the dream, I'm just what I'm saying. In the dream, I'm thinking to myself, what is this about? And he gets out on the track and he goes to race. And when I look up and see him trotting away on the horse, I look at the shirt, and on his shirt was number 22. Go back and look at that video. That's really profound. Now, where am I getting at? Okay. Because a couple of nights ago, I had a little bit of I had this part of this dream, but this was just a little different. And it was a horse that was coming in, and he was a long shot. And I want you to hear the difference in this one and the last one I just explained to you. In the last dream, I just explained to you with Donald Trump in it. No one in that dream, and I was standing at the betting offices, looking around the corner, watching, and no one bet on number 22. And I mean, no one. And no one expected that horse to win whatsoever. But I want you to hear this one. This time, when I had this dream, I seen number 22 again come in as the long shot and win. But this is where the difference came in. Okay. The difference was there was a great expectancy for that long shot to win this time. What is being said? God was showing me through this dream that the hope of the people is now starting, and the hope and the expectation of God in the people. God is putting a great hope and expectancy in the people now. I seen this in the dream going out this time. It was so different because the first dream, there was no hope, no expectancy, and no one betting on that horse. No one had no hope whatsoever that horse would win. Now there's a great, when I was in this dream on this last one, it was like everything switched from night to day. There was a great expectancy now in this horse to win. And listen, the greatest part about that dream was he did win. Okay. Now, I didn't see Donald Trump on the horse in this one. All I seen was like the original number 22 long shot still coming in. But in that last dream, I did see Donald Trump riding off with that shirt on of number 22. Okay. I am not coming to you and telling you Donald Trump's going to do anything. Okay. I'm only telling you what I dreamed. So please do not go and attach any prophetic words to me that I didn't speak. I'm only giving you a dream, and I'm letting you hear what I seen and what it looked like. I want to tell you something, people. God is getting ready to really do something big. He's putting hope, that hope that was deferred in the people. He's restoring, he's redeeming, he's bringing the expectations of the people back. And it is that hour. You see, where people, I mean, we all look around. You go into the stores, you look at your receipt. You come out of the stores, it looks bad. You go to the gas pumps. I've heard that some places, I wanted to say, I thought it was Washington or somewhere anyway, where they even paid up to as high as $10 at one point. I know here where we're at, it's like up to $6 something now. It's no mystery that people are losing faith and hope in this government that's been in this whole, this whole setup that's been going forward. Everybody knows that all this stuff has been purposed and it's not good. Okay. But God is now, he's sending the host of heaven out. This is what's being said to you. He's sending the host of heaven out to minister and to bring back the hope and the expectation that was needed upon this earthly realm. There was such a great loss of expectation and hope that God was even going to do anything. But see, for those of you that knows who God really is, knows one thing: he never loses. And in the word, he doesn't lose. Sure, there's a great tribulation coming sometime. I don't know when that is, but it does come. And there's great losses that are taken. Every battle has its losses. But I need you to understand something. God wouldn't be showing me that dream the way he showed it to me and to have me to tell it to you the way I told it to you if he wasn't truly going to do something, because he's bringing back that great hope, that great expectation, and he's going to redeem his people. People, we don't lose this battle, and we're not going to lose this battle. Amen. This is Brother Auty Howard with Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries. Give it a thumbs up if you like what God is doing. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, share it. And I want to say to you, there is some great and profound messages that's about to come forward soon. So if you haven't had yourself a look at this channel yet, please do so, because God is about to do something and he's about to start to speak some profound things. So get ready, guys. Much love to you, Brother Auty Howard, Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries. And we will be talking to you soon on the next one. God bless you. You take care. We love you very much. Bye-bye.